there is something more important. Yesterday, a major revolution took place in Europe. The European Parliament yet witnessed an undercurrent turning into a tsunami. What happened? The center-right and far-right gained a majority in the European Parliament. It had significant impacts in different countries. France and Belgium are going to elections. They are in shock. They did not expect such a large vote share. The center-left and left parties are declining, even collapsing. All of Europe is shifting to the right. Right now, the steering is pulling to the right. Why is it pulling to the right? The biggest reason is the Syrian war. The biggest reason is the issue of migrants. Well, it's actually very strange. I thought about it before going on air today. Right now, this issue of migrants, we're not talking about the 10 million currently in Turkey. From the UK to Belgium, from Austria to Germany, it is bringing right-wing parties to the forefront. How is it bringing them to the forefront? Through anti-immigrant sentiment. They say we will send them back. They say it's time for the migrants to leave. Everyone is voting for that. In Turkey, it's the opposite. The center-right party. They say we will keep the 10 million migrants here. So their votes are decreasing. We haven't fully established such opposition here. What is Ümit Özdağ's party? Isn't it Zafer Tourism? He is saying it. He says, we will send them back. Let's not waste time. What does CHP say about this? There is confusion. Well, what AK party says is already clear. However, the opposite development is happening in Turkey, mainly compared to Europe. Now, in the coming days, there will be elections in France and Belgium. Well, Macron took it personally. Look, elections are held every 5 years in the European Parliament, and countries considered European citizens participate. But Macron takes this personally, the emergence and prominence of the right. He says he is overthrowing the government and going to elections because of this. What's happening with us? For example, the CHP comes to the forefront with an overwhelming advantage in local elections. Erdogan takes control of the process. He says, well, that's different. This is different. Here too, that's different. This is different, actually. Özgür Özel was already like that. But wait, now that we've become the leader, hold on, for God's sake. Let's not mix things up. Let's enjoy the atmosphere of being the general leader. And right now, he is savoring it, enjoying its taste. Now, I mean, instead of going through how many votes each received one by one, let's look at how it affected the countries, if you like. In France, Le Pen's party, the National Rally Party, has risen by 10 points, receiving 31.5% of the vote, which is very high. They were always afraid, Macron actually came to that seat as a product of this fear. But right now, Macron's liberal wing party, Renaissance, has remained at 15%, almost half. The man says, I have lost my legitimacy now. He doesn't say the European Parliament is different. This is different. Because actually, it's different. The election in France is different. The election in the European Parliament is different. And they will go to elections between June 30th and July 7th, right before the Olympics. The conservatives in Germany, around the time of the 2019 elections, received a similar vote share. They are first with 30%. The Radical Right Party increased its vote share by about 5% compared to 5 years ago, reaching 16%. They have also increased, in that context. In Italy, Meloni has achieved victory. Italy is one of the most closely watched countries, both for being the third country with the most representatives in parliament and for the rise of the far right, as you know. And in the 2019 elections, it was able to become the fifth party with 6.4% of the vote. In 5 years, it increased by about 20 points, rising to first place. Can you imagine? 20 points. They currently appear to be the highest. In the Netherlands, there's the Left Alliance. and you know Geert Wilders. Although it made significant gains compared to the elections 5 years ago, it couldn't become the first party. Fortunately, the Netherlands is still governed by sensible people. In Belgium, the prime minister resigned in tears. What will be the impact on Turkey? The impact on Turkey will not be good. The shift to the right in Europe will toughen immigration policies. What will happen? You say that already. In Turkey. What happens in Turkey stays in Turkey. No one who comes to Turkey, thankfully, goes anywhere else. You were saying that we are not sending anyone abroad. Things are happening regarding Israel. There were protests against Netanyahu over the weekend. Hundreds of thousands of people did something, and also an important member of his war cabinet. There is a man named Benny Gantz. He left because Netanyahu's post-war plans for Gaza were unclear. He is also a far-right man. They say it's unclear what will happen now. So there is a problem within his own coalition. With Netanyahu, there are also protests, on the other hand. That is also among the most talked about topics right now. Aksener. Actioners. An advisor, Istanbul Deputy Burak Akburak said, Akşener is ready to serve in the state. I won't say anything. Okay. But that's not the news. We already know that. Being ready to serve in the state. Talked about hair color. Burak Akburak said the hair color was going to be different, but this one was liked. I wonder if they conducted a survey. What should our leader's hair color be? Should it be red, brown, or blonde? Sinan Oğan said, the owner of the place has returned, Mr. Rosell. Let's take you off the stage. That's the end of the joke. It continues. Mehmet Şimşek gave a statement saying, AI-supported monitoring is coming to public expenditures. Well, today, all of these really seem like jokes. But, Todd, I think the best news of the weekend is that photo. Bring that photo. They made news by putting up that photo saying Mehmet Şimşek is introducing a hair tax. Oh, brother, don't do such things, really.